Here's the Geek Speak Radio Show at APE 2011 here with Asif Gill. You guys heard him on the show, and we were here again last year also at APE. He premiered 48 Days in Tokyo. Now he's got something new. Asif, tell us about it.
A new project is called Crapenstance, and the concept of Crapenstance is a crappy happenstance. I've been traveling for this initiative here. You know, I've been to DC, I've been to New York, I've been to San Francisco, and it seemed like everywhere I went, just like I'd have these strange run-ins with the weirdest people. And normally, like in public, we'll say for instance at the gym, you know, I'm not really looking to talk to anybody, especially like I'm in a different city. You know, I have a goal that I need to accomplish, and just like weirdness. There's two stories in my first issue. One of them is about the gym in DC, and basically what happened was I forgot to take my lock with me, and I went to go purchase a lock, and some guy just vehemently tried to convince me not to get a lock, and it just baffled me. It was so weird. And then the other story was actually here for APE, and I was waiting by the Muni, and somebody asked me to use my phone, and I started freaking out because I just got an iPhone 4 at the time, and it was kind of hard to get. So I was convinced that this person was going to steal my phone, and you'd have to actually read it to see what happens. But so those are the first two stories. I do have a backlog of stories from other cities. I have like Vancouver, New York. Some stuff happened in my hometown, Ann Arbor. So I see it as like an ongoing side project series, but I also completed my website for it. And something interesting happened. I had a show last week, and I was explaining the project to people. And they have their own, I guess you could call it, Crapenstances, and they'd say to me, "Oh, this happened to me, and this is my story, and you can use it if you want." So I came up with the concept of letting people submit their own Crapenstances on my website, and maybe do like a compilation of the Crapenstances, like every maybe 6 months or something. So that's my new project.
What is that website?
It's crapenstance.com. That's CRAPENSTANCE.com.
Now, last year when we told us about 48 Days, you mentioned that you're not a comic book artist. That's not your profession. But now that you have Crapenstance, are you kind of thinking about it?
I don't know. I mean, I have to stick with my day job because that's like my fuel in terms of being able to do things like come to shows and whatnot. But I mean, it's funny that you mentioned 48 Days in Tokyo. I do have to finish that project. I'm working on compiling the webcomics into a volume. That I have a backlog of like 60 more webcomics as well. So my idea for that was, and I was trying to get it done for this, but I didn't have enough time, was I was going to redraw some of the webcomics I wasn't very, I guess you could say, satisfied with. Put in a lot of liner notes to explain a little bit more of the context, as well as put in the sketches. So that book should be coming out pretty soon.
So you're already turning into George Lucas doing your special editions already.
It's not a special edition. It's just I felt like some of the webcomics needed a little bit more explanation than what I actually gave on the website. It just puts a little bit more context around it. And also I have to finish the book. I have it all written. I just don't have the illustrations done. So I have a lot of stuff that I have to do this year and next year.
And the reason why I ask you about do you want to be a professional full-time comic artist is because a lot of people have ideas for writing the book, song, whatever it is, but you actually made it happen. And we're looking at the products right here. So if anybody needs any little push, they have some idea, anything, what advice would you give them?
You know, the way things are these days and how open the marketplace is, like with indie craft fairs as well as just like indie comics in general, if you have an idea, just go for it. What do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. You don't have anything to lose.
Yeah, so there you go. Good advice from Asif Gill. 48 Days in Tokyo. New one right here, Crapenstance. It's available on the website. It's crapenstance.com, correct?
Yeah, and submit your Crapenstances. I'm looking forward to seeing what people write about.
Yeah, Yeah, so go ahead and do that. And then again, Asif, thanks a lot. And you are listening to the Geek Speak Radio Show at APE 2011.